Buff Nation, what up? BWB, all of my bandwagon buffs. What's going on? I hope all is well. I hope you're having a great week. I hope you had a great weekend. Welcome to the Tuesday show. Not on a Monday. Welcome to the Tuesday show. Welcome to TLP Sports Club. You're watching TLP Live. I'm your host, Harry Billion. Welcome to the show, guys. If this is your first time here at this channel, guys, please make sure to press that like button. And please don't forget to subscribe. Guys, if you like the content, if I'm helping you to enjoy this here college football thing, please subscribe and help this channel grow. Today, we're going to be talking about the different outcomes, the different things that need to happen with the Colorado Buffaloes if they're going to have a long postseason. I'm also going to talk about the game a little bit, where Colorado could have done a little better to change the outcome so that they can continue, you know what I'm saying, having this Cinderella type season. And then we're going to do a light scouting of OSU. If you want to see a full scout of OSU, I do have a video on my channel. You can go check it out, where I talk about the different key pieces that are going to make this game instrumental. Just off the top of my head, if Ollie Gordon has a Super Bowl type of game, it's going to be a repeat of Kansas State, Kansas. Okay, it's going to be a repeat of Kansas State and Kansas. All right, because for some odd reason, Colorado have not figured out how to stop the run. All right. And Ollie Gordon is the type of running back that if he has a great game, we'll be sitting there again. Okay. On Saturday, we'll be sitting there and we'll be like, well, what the heck is going on? Why is it that every time we get a team that has a great running back, or at least a decent running back, why can't we not stop them? Now, here's the caveat to that. Ollie Gordon has not had a great season. He hasn't had a great season. But if you look at Kansas was not having a great season at all. Kansas's record does not reflect the type of team that they are. All right. So we don't sleep on nobody. We just ask our Colorado Buffaloes to be ready for game time. They have to play out of adversity. I don't know why. I have no idea. Okay. It's like maybe the rich kid that has everything doesn't really need for nothing, doesn't really want for nothing. So they just kind of like waltz through life and everything is, oh, it's going to be all right. I mean, why are you all up in arms? It's just a football game. That's all it is. I don't know if that's what the thing is, but for some odd reason, Colorado just can't figure it out when people heap praises on Colorado. That rat poisoning becomes very scrumptious. And the rat poisoning looks like their favorite dish. You know what I'm saying? If you like fried fish, the rat poisoning looks like, oh my gosh, it's fried fish. And for some odd reason, Colorado can't figure it out. I've never seen a team that we know can be as dominant as they want to be. A team like Colorado, having the best quarterback in the game, having Travis Hunter, who was the best player, front runner for the Heisman Trophy, having a defense that is playing lights out, having a wide receivers room that can catch anything. All you got to do is just close your eyes and throw it. A team like that to get dominated. I mean, just utterly dominated on the field, like they hadn't done nothing the entire season. You look at it and you're like, there's no way. It can't be this Colorado team that I know they can put scores on the board. What the heck is 3 and out? 3 and out? Okay. Devin Neal catches the ball, jukes one person, and then beat the whole team down the field. We can't stop him. I'm like, What is wrong? What is this team? Who am I looking at? So week after week, when we ask these questions, we always say, which Colorado team is going to show up today? Is the offense going to show up? Is the defense going to show up? We never know. That's why we got to call these guys the cardiac kids. We thought that UCF was the turning point for Colorado. University of Central Florida. We thought when they went out there, I guess because of some type of weather situation, hurricane, they were locked in and they played really good football. We thought, oh, this is it. We're locked in. Here we go. But after they put a couple of wins together and everybody and their mama start telling them, oh my gosh, Colorado's the best team in the Big 12. That's why I keep telling y'all, I don't like those things. I want people to keep saying Colorado sucks. I need the haters to come back. Where's the Pat Narduzzi? When you got Paul Feinbaum on your side, you know Colorado's in trouble. When Paul Feinbaum starts to agree that Deion could be the coach of the year and Shador, and now they have turned their seat. When everybody is not hating Colorado, I'm in my studio and I go, oh no, please don't do it for them. No, hey, I need you to hate Colorado. Colorado is not the type of team that you need to heap praises on. And the whole media, what happened to the haters? I need to make more Jason Whitlock videos. Jason Whitlock, where are you? These boys cannot play football when people are praising them. Kansas is not a world beater. Kansas is definitely not a world beater. Shador had time to throw the ball. He certainly did. They had a few nasty shots, but that's not what lost the game. The running back, the running game, the quarterback that could run. When he says hike, he waits a few seconds and then he takes off. Robert Livingston, Coach Prime, Coach Sapp, et al. They don't know the stuff that we see. They're blind. You're blind, baby. They're blind. They're blind. Because for the life of us, we've seen it all season. They cannot stop the run. And if we have a running quarterback, a rushing quarterback, we have no idea how to stop him. We don't do no simulations in practice to say, okay, if we have a rushing quarterback, this is what we need to do to stop him. Nothing. We just let them run. It's just status quo. We're the best team in the Big 12. Everybody's heaping praise on us. We got the Heisman Trophy doing his pose, or whichever arm he chooses. We got Shador, who's the best. Everybody, it's all great. Da, 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 da. It's all great and gravy. We don't need nothing. We got NIL deals out the wazoo. So it's just football. Man, look, we got well off. We're well off ourselves. We're on game shows. Come on now. What do we need? Y'all are just taking everything too seriously. Life ain't that serious. I know they got hippies in Boulder, but are they smoking? Is the team smoking that much that it just, yeah, man. It's all right. Puff, puff, pass. It's okay. Why are you so serious? It's just football, my guy. There are more important things in life. What? Who? Kansas? They all right. Let them keep talking. They're going to have to double team me. Oh, we're going to hit that quarterback real hard. Just watch. I don't even smoke. I just see my I just see people do it. Yo, what you put in this? Come on, Colorado. What's in the joint over there in Boulder? What's up, guys? Ivan Westbrook, what up with you? John Schaff, what up with you? Shirley Kimball, what's up? The rat poison is too much in Boulder, man. I have no idea what they're doing in Boulder, but there's no reason. There's no reason why. I did not see enough out of Kansas for me to say that Kansas should have just beat us like the way Nebraska beat us. I saw enough in Nebraska. They were rushing us. I saw enough. But Kansas, I didn't see enough. Especially when we've had the same game in Kansas State. Father of two, husband of one. What up with you? Tim said, I'm 1-1 today. Look, we saw that game. We've seen this movie before. Yo, we've seen this movie before. There's no reason why you get beat by K-State 3 points, and you knew that's the sting of defeat. That the way that they beat you, there was no way that Colorado was going to come and get beat the same way that K-State beat them. What is it? Is it Tito? Or is it Toto? Is it Dorothy? Is it the Wicked Witch of the freaking West? Come on now. What is it about Kansas that we can't beat them? We cannot stop them from running the daggone ball. Yo, I said it, bro. Kansas was it was Kansas State 2.0. We figured this out already. We watched Kansas State's game. Oh, Giddens was running. He was running and we couldn't tackle him. There's no way Devin Neal is going to come in here and do the same thing, right? No way. Of course not. Oh, wait. He's going to be worse. Tim Smith on this here channel said they have a running back that could be another Giddens. We said Colorado's going to beat them. And then I came here and I saw one of their games and I said, oh, wait a minute. I think Tim is right. I just saw Devin Neal run all over BYU. I said, guys, we're going to have to be worried about that guy. Did Colorado not get the memo that he was going to be another DJ Giddens? Did we not understand his ability, or we had already taken the rat poison and we thought, that was not cake. That's rat poison. Did we not understand, or what? The cake started tasting like rat poison? It was too late. How do we not prepare for another DJ Giddens? How do we not prepare for another running quarterback? How? All right, let me not do this alone. Tim Smith, how you doing, brother? Thank you for calling in, man. I appreciate it. What up with you?
Hey, what's up, brother?
Man. Yo, man. I don't get it.
I see you ain't flushed it. You haven't flushed it yet, have you?
No. No, because all the signs were there. All of the signs were right there that this is going to be a repeat of K-State. And the lesson, the sting of defeat that we felt in that game, knowing how well they can run the ball. I thought like, oh, okay, we've seen this movie before. We know exactly what to do. So how did we fall short? Kansas was not a world beater. Kansas didn't have anything that we could not have. We couldn't answer. People were just missing tackles the same way that there was missing tackles. in the K State game. Eh, did you
Yeah.
Tim? Did you see something in that game that you felt like Colorado could not handle?
No, not really, because they seen it before. They seen that same show before. You know. I just think that they got too relaxed. Like Prime said in that well off, they got humbled. Like I feel like they were looking. They always use the term one game at a time. Prepare to go 1-0 this week. But for some reason, it seemed like y'all was looking at that Big 12 championship. Y'all was making plans in y'all mind to come back home and turn up here in Arlington, Texas, which a lot of them live in the Dallas, which is in the Dallas Fort Worth Metroplex. So uh, they got humbled, bro.
Bruh,
And not only that, they wanted it. Kansas wanted it more than than they did.
I'll tell you this story. My son, my 9 year old Micah, Micah was they won all of their games, but one they tied. They were undefeated in the season. The coach I really don't care for that much because he's a grown child. He's cussing all over the place like this is high school football. So I don't really care much about him. But he has this thing. They're so cocky and they're saying they've already beat everybody. And my son's coming home like telling everybody, he's about to front on everybody for his ring and everything. And I'm like, how are you already celebrating? Y'all haven't even won yet. Let me tell you this: at the game, they got smacked for the first time, 28-7. 28 to when you start feeling yourself before you actually get there, man, that rat poisoning is strong. I'm telling you, it ain't no joke, bruh. The team that you tied with earlier on in the season or the team that's not supposed to beat you can easily beat you. But you know what? Let's bring on CU fan. CU fan, what's up, man? Thank you for calling and I appreciate you. How you doing today?
Good, Harry. How are you? How you doing,
Good.
Tim?
Just give me 1 second. Let me do this intro.
Yo, how's it going,
Join
brother?
TLP Live. Join TLP Live at gmail.com if you want to be on the panel like these two fine gentlemen that are on the panel. You email me, I send you a link. You come on here, we talk Colorado football and Big 12's football. Okay? So join TLP Live at gmail.com. If you want to call in later on, just write that down because I'm going to take this off the screen. Join TLP Live at gmail.com. Your opening statement, Mr. CU fan, if you got one. Other than that, we can move on.
Trying to recover from a huge loss. You know, it was a big loss that hit a lot of people deep. Hit me deep for sure. I still think we should have won that game, but we were just not ready. We came in there thinking that we were hot stuff, and they put us out real quick.
Let's talk about CU running the ball. I want to open the show with that, even though I've already opened the show with my with my puff puff pass. Colorado has no interest in running the ball. At this point, I'll frame it like this, and y'all help me out. Remember last year, the talk of the town was, "Hey, you ain't got no O line, so you can't run the ball. You have no O line." And then Colorado decided to run the ball. So that means that Colorado has an O line now. We at least agree that the O line is decent enough to, if we were interested in running the ball, that we could implement at least 20 to 30% of a run game that will help us to be able to be a balanced team and give our O line a break to be able to play complementary football. But Colorado is not interested in running the football. I don't know why, Because if we have the same argument and we say, hey, the O-line can't block, it's the same thing. But then in that same argument, we say, oh, the O-line is way better. We got we got Jordan Seaton, we got Chase, I guess that's his name if I can't remember right now, right? We got let's just say the two IMG guys, freshmen. The O-line is better. Shador has a lot more time this year. I'm clocking at least 3.5, 4 seconds. Sometimes it creeps into 5 to 6 seconds. He's back there falling asleep. So what gives? I'm going to bring on Phil Sorrell so that we can talk about this for at least. Let's give this at least 5 minutes. I need to understand for my well-being, for my mental state. I need to understand why Colorado is not interested in running the ball. Phil Sorrell, welcome to the show. How you doing today, brother?
Man, I'm
Appreciate
doing good, man. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on. Shout out to everybody on the panel. Hope everybody's doing well.
How you doing, Phil?
Good.
you. I'm bringing you
What up,
on now,
Phil?
and I want you to go first. I want you to please tell me in the best way that you possibly can. And I left some things out. Coach Prime is a football Hall of Famer. The entire staff have 120 some years of football. We do understand the importance of running the ball. So, can somebody riddle me this? What is it that they don't understand about balanced football? The second that things are not going their way to get behind, they always want to spot somebody 13 points, at least 10 points in the first half. They always want to spot you some points and then play from behind and say, oh, we're going to catch up. We all good. But whenever they get spooked, then they revert to straight passing. Phil, can you help me to understand how is it that you have all these NFL guys that are supposed to understand how football works, but yet they can't figure out running the ball? They don't want to run. Why?
Well, right now it just seems like they know they can run the ball effectively at times, but for whatever reason they just don't believe in it or they just don't want to. Um, because obviously you got to have faith in them because they got you to this point. But for whatever reason, they're clearly seeing something in practice or real time during the games that's making them not want to run the ball. I don't know why they're not, because I feel like it would make Shador an even more effective and efficient quarterback if he does have a more balanced offense that he's a part of. But I really don't know why they're not doing it, man. I'm a little bit confused. I'm a little frustrated because it feels terrible that you get to this point of the season and then you lose that game, and now I feel like everything was for naught, you know. So I don't know, man. I'm still
And then they
baffled. I,
lost
I
your
look back at the
$400.
game. Yeah, pretty much.
Can I add to that?
Before you add to that, let me give you this stats. Let me give you this information right here. It's going to be real short.
Movie and Dark Knight said, but yeah, that's what Kansas is doing in the Big 12 right now. But Dawn, let's go over the highest grade players, starting off with the Kansas Jayhawks, Colorado. Tight end Trevor Cardale, 77.3. Cornerback Jalen Todd, 70.7. Let's go over to Colorado with their high 73.9. Center Cash Cleveland, 69 grade. Edge defender Arden Walker, 67.9. And Shador Sanders is actually the highest graded player for Colorado at an 80.5 grade. Dawn, for you, what was that whole story?
Okay, we're kind of finding ways to say the same thing twice here, but I'm going to go with this. The time of possession. Okay, this is one element of it. Kansas had the ball for 40 minutes and 11 seconds, meaning
I'm gonna roll that back real quick. Y'all, if in case you didn't hear that correctly, let me roll it back just a little bit.
ball for 40 minutes and 11 seconds, meaning possession.
One more time.
Okay, this is one element of it. Kansas had the ball for 40 minutes and 11 seconds, meaning Colorado had it for 19 minutes and 49 seconds. And there's some people who are going to go, well, you only scored 21 on Kansas. What the hell's wrong with your offense? Nothing at all. Colorado, you mentioned it. Shador and Hunter were still great. 7.3 yards per play. Yes, they didn't run the ball well. They never run the ball well. That's Colorado. They're one-dimensional. Their grades and their passing numbers and everything else that we've seen offensively, right in line with what they've done all season. But what's the difference? When you have the ball for less than 20 minutes,
Yep.
they only got to run 42 plays the entire game. I can't tell you, especially in a college game, how astronomically low that is. And just the level of ball control that Kansas they just imposed their will in this game. I mean, that's all they did from start to finish. They imposed their will and they wore down Colorado's defense. And the only really I think that's what we've gotten to is the only way to stop Colorado's offense is to just make sure they're not on the field.
Yeah.
Because we never ran the ball. They ran the ball. That's how they got 40 minutes of time. They were running the ball. Colorado refuses. And for the life of me, with all of those gold jackets and that NFL 120 something years of NFL experience, and you're telling me every game for 12 games straight, 11 games straight, you're telling me that y'all going to make the same excuse every single time that we couldn't run the ball? Go ahead, CU fan.
Look, I'm going to be the unpopular vote here, okay? But to me, the whole season has been about catering to one person, and that's Shedeur Sanders, okay? Well, the reason we didn't run the ball is because Prime has said it before in his interviews that as long as a W is a W, you know, if it puts it in Shedeur's hands, he's confident that Shedeur's going to get it done. But to me, that just told me that Prime basically put Shermer in a position of, I want pass. I mean, I understand there were games that we were able to run 150 yards or something like that, but we were actually being dynamic. We were using plays that were like, whoa, that's pretty good. We didn't see that before. But the fact that we would revert to a very predictable offense, like it's the end of the season. We've already seen that offense. We've already seen that offense, and everybody knows that offense. So, like when we went up the gut, I don't remember if you. I remember last week when we went up the gut, we went up twice. It was third down, and we went up the gut. Predictable. On fourth down, went up the gut again. Predictable. And with I believe it was Hayden, it was basically the same. When he comes out, everybody knows he's going to go up the gut. It's like it's so predictable. So when you see these type of offenses, especially towards the end, and you're doing film study, you're like, I see it. I know what they're going to do. And the problem is when you're stopping the run like that because you become predictable, now all you're doing is passing. And because we're not actually getting first downs and we're not running, our defense, like they said, was worn down. Our defense was gassed. And I blame the coaches on this because of the fact, and I understand there's a point where they say that players gotta, do their thing, but I blame coaches. I blame this season on the offensive side. I blame Shermer for being too predictable in the play calling, and to me, that's such a bad position to be in because of the fact that he has given or catered to Shedeur when they should not have catered to him. Like if you would have just ran the ball in a scheme that would have put Shedeur in a better position, but instead you put the weight of the world on Shedeur to win you the game, and unfortunately, there was times that he couldn't do it.
All right, so let me bring on Ron Tate. Ron Tate, welcome to the show, brother. How
Hello,
you doing
Harry.
today? Thank you, man. I appreciate you calling in.
Hey, look, it's an honor to be on the show. I want to vehemently push back against a couple of comments that CU fan made.
You're going to push back first before you tackle the actual question?
Uh, well, okay. Let me hear the question again.
Right now, I want to talk about the run, the lack thereof.
Yes,
Colorado
yes,
refusing to run the ball. At this
right.
point, I'm saying refusing.
I,
'Cause I
I
ain't
got
gonna.
you.
We cannot anymore. At no point say, "Oh no, we can't run because we ain't got no O line." Because you cannot praise the O line being good on one hand, and then say, "Oh, the O line's not good enough for the run."
I thought about that very thing while I was watching the game, and I watched Kansas offense. They were creative. They allowed I mean the referees allowed them to hold a lot, but still they were creative in the scheme. And to continue to say that they're catering to Shador is a weak and old argument. It's not Shador. He will run the offense that is presented to him. It's not Coach Prime saying, let's pass the ball, let's make my son look good so he can be drafted in the first round. Well, he's going to be drafted in the first round. That's not it. It's the scheme running zone read plays and RPOs, run pass option plays. Ridiculous. No creativity. It's the scheme of the run game. Was very, very creative in the run blocking and in the plays that they ran. That's why they were so successful.
So,
We
Ron,
did
let me
the
ask you. Let
same
me ask you,
old
Ron.
thing.
Ron, let me
Yeah.
ask you this. On one hand, you want to tout, or whatever your American word is. You want to praise the fact that you got 127 years of NFL experience.
Yes.
You mean that you guys are so dense that you don't see what we're saying? Like, you
Uh,
guys are
I,
so slow that you don't get that we need to change up the run scheme? Like, nobody in that locker room, in the coach's room, can really say, let's evaluate what's going on. Like, it cannot be this. Like,
Hey
you
Harry, can I say
can't
hey,
something?
you can't
hey,
go with, oh my gosh, we got 127 years of college of NFL experience, but nobody in that room is capable of coming up with run schemes.
Hey
Harry,
Harry.
it's the proof is
Oh,
in the
go ahead.
pudding. The proof is in the pudding. All year, same thing. The same run plays they were running in the third game is the same plays they were running against Kansas. The same thing. They did one pass play that was very creative, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's great!" But I'm sorry, Tim. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Tim.
I was just gonna say I agree 100% with Ron because that's exactly what I was gonna say. The creativity is just not there. The basic run plays that CU runs is straight high school. Um, nobody's getting creative with their run plays. You see those things happen at K State, at Kansas this past weekend. You see Arizona State does a great job of it as well with Scatterboo. Um, but Colorado has four decent running backs that actually five with Draylon Miller. I would like to see him in the Wildcat every now and then.
So
Um,
then, Tim, can you answer my questions since Ron did not want to take Ron didn't want to get into trouble with the fan base? Can you answer
uh-huh.
my question that I asked him about the 127 years, and then people in that locker room cannot figure out that, hey, we need to switch this up?
They don't want to. They're they're satisfied with the basic plays, and that this is just my personal
And who
opinion.
does that cater to?
You know what I mean? I feel like
Th-
that allows you to have to pass 80 to 90% of the time if you want to score, if you want to move the ball, if you want to score points. That also makes your O line looks like they're not good at the run with the basic run plays that they have established.
Hey, I think somebody hacked Shantae's Shantae's YouTube account. I, I don't I don't know what's going on in the universe, but I think somebody just hacked Shantae's.
Look, I,
and
I
and it's
want to
a
say
weekday.
this,
I don't know why we got Shantae. Shouldn't it be Prime Effect 101? Is it? Is it? Are you already off for the holiday?
Harry. I just want to say this. Look, I'm
Yeah.
agreeing with what Tim and Ron's saying about the scheme. I was saying that, but when you do not change the scheme and you're not putting in the work to try to make the run game work, because doesn't that tells me, okay, we're going to the same old plays that we saw in the first
All right.
half
Let's
of the
not repeat
season.
this, but let me ask you. Let's move that conversation down the line. Let's move on. Who is responsible? Who do we hold accountable for this? Because at certain point, the fan base is going to have to hold somebody accountable. I'm sick and tired of the same old, same old. And you know, us fan base, we got to start asking for somebody's head.
It's always going to be Prime. Prime is the one that
Or
controls
Prime ain't
everything.
going to go. Shermer
You
got to
don't have
go.
to fire. You don't have to fire somebody for things to be corrected. But you
But
said
they
the
don't
buck.
want to correct it, so somebody got to go, Phil.
Okay, but if the buck stops with Dion and he's not the one that wants to correct it, then are you saying he needs to be fired? I don't think anybody's saying that. I don't know
I'm not
why he's
saying
not
that.
making it.
I'm
No,
saying
exactly.
he is the one that like answers to everything.
Correct. I'm agreeing with you.
So then we're holding Prime accountable. Okay? For 2 minutes, I want to hold Prime accountable. Who's out there that knows Prime's phone number? Get him on the daggone phone and say, hey man, look, guy, can you please just sit Shador so he doesn't hurt himself? Because we know that hit that could have almost ended his NFL career that has not even started. The rest of these guys are going to want to hurt this kid. Sit him. Let Ryan Stubb get a few reps because this season is okay. We're good. So that we can
No,
see what you can do without your freaking son, man.
nah, you
Hey,
got too much
hey,
riding on the line for you to sit Shador down right now
There's nothing right on the line. We're 8 games in.
after
We're good.
no, Harry, come
right. I
on.
mean, but
You're
still,
satisfied with
you
your eight
don't
and
you
four,
don't
but we're not.
I'm ready to
I'm
crash
not
out, man.
satisfied. Nah, but I think you hold Prime accountable because he allowed his offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators to operate and report back to him. But uh, he pretty much, for the most part, allowed them to do their own thing and see how it's gonna play out. I feel like Pat Shermer is creative enough to do that, but
He's
I
too
feel
old, man.
like
He's
no,
old.
no, 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 no. Listen, this guy got a lot of wisdom and a lot of knowledge about the game.
Wisdom means
And
you're old.
no, 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 no. I mean, what I'm saying is
Whenever you
though,
have to start saying wisdom, that means
I,
you're old.
well, okay, yeah, he got a little gray in his talking points, but
Uh,
what I'm saying is, I feel like there's a there's a there's a block there, man, and
he's an
I don't
old
know how to.
NFL coach that thinks that today's college football works like basic. Oh, let's just run the ball. If we got a big old Saquon Barkley, we're just gonna go straight down the middle. He can do whatever. We ain't got that. This is college football. This is not old NFL. Like, when was the
Right.
last time he coached the NFL, man? We need a young mind, like another Livingston, but offensive minded, so that we can get runs going.
Okay,
Kansas just
Harry.
ran that
Let me.
ball. Kansas just
Let,
ran the ball down our throat with that old same mindset, straight up the gut.
Oh,
yeah, but they
wait,
had
wait a
some
minute. How
great.
long has their
They,
coach been coaching college?
no, Harry. It was the scheme. Look at their blocking. They didn't just come directly at CU. Those linemen had angles. Uh, the guy they were dipping inside, and then they were hooking the end and running the ball outside. I was like, how did he do that? That was the play design. And
But
Coach
Ron, are you
Prime's
not?
fault.
But
Coach Prime's
Ron,
fault
who
is that
who are
he
we blaming for that?
Coach Prime, because he is so loyal to Shermer. He is too loyal to Shermer. Instead of saying, look, we need something creative. He's being too loyal. Yes, that is his fault.
So
I
it's
agree with you
another
one hundred
it's
percent.
another
He's been too
it's
loyal
another
to
Charlie
Sherman.
Offerdo situation. It's another let's play this guy because I feel like
Yes,
so
No,
basically Prime has this loyalty issue where it's just like he feels bad if he's gonna make someone feel bad. Is that what we're dealing with?
I believe so. Not with Charlie Offerdall, but with
well, he can't take the
Shermer.
same position as what he did with Charlie. Charlie,
No,
they told him that, hey, it's not working out with him. All right, replace him. He can't just do that with Shermer. I mean, look what happened. He has, if he does it again, he's going to have this thing like he's going to see the same thing over and over, and people are going to wonder, why does he keep getting offensive coordinators? Because it didn't work before. Why is it not working now?
now he needs to have a talk with Shermer. He needs to sit down, with his respect in hand, and says, "Hey, old guy, I respect you a lot. We need a little more creativity. We need some angles, and
I,
for our linemen to be successful in blocking."
I have a
Look,
I have a question though.
I was about to ask you a question, Phil.
Okay, go for it.
Why should Shermer stay if okay, let me rephrase this question. Do you think Shermer is staying because do you think Shermer's hands are tied due to Shador? And once we get Juju Lewis, Shermer's going to release his playbook and he's going to be given the green flag to do things the way he wants to do it. Because I know Shermer, just like Sean Lewis, are 60% runners. So there's no way you're telling me that we can run the ball only 9 times, like in a game where somebody's controlling the clock for 40 minutes and you only got 19 minutes. Can you can you help me to understand this? Is Shermer's hands tied, or do you think he has the go ahead and he's not doing it? Just like we were saying the same thing about Sean Lewis.
Well, I don't think any offensive coordinator has 100% control of the offense. So Sean Lewis is not able to run the offense the exact way that he wants to. I think that if he were the head coach, the offense would look different. Um, but I don't know exactly what his normal balance is to say that he's veering so far off of what he would normally do. So
But Phil,
I can't have an understatement and say, hey, he normally runs the ball X amount of percentage to say
But
that's
he's
Phil,
an
not what he's doing
NFL.
at
He's
we
an
Colorado.
NFL
have
guy.
we have the same situation we had last year. It's almost like the same offense of last year.
Hmm.
Like it's pass heavy. So,
No, I
so
understand that, but I'm just
Hey,
simply saying
I don't mind the
I don't
pass
know what the
heaviness.
balance that Shermer normally has. So
But
I
The
can't.
reason why I said Phil, this is the reason why I say that because he's an NFL guy. NFL guys are going to be either 60-40 or 40-60. The run play is not going to be so depth. It's not going to be so different that you're going to see so much pass. And listen, I don't mind being pass heavy as long as you have some balance in there. You cannot go to a team like Kansas and they got the ball 40 minutes and you're not running at all. All you're doing is throwing.
okay, so last year, how good was our run last year? Was it good? Because we didn't have that much of a good
Last year
run
we
last
didn't
year
have
as
an O
well.
line, so says the people. We didn't have an O line, so that was the excuse on why we didn't run the ball.
And it's
This,
just
this year, I don't know what
this
the excuse is.
I mean, see, but it's the same thing. It's like a lot of people were saying at the very beginning of the season, it's the same O line. Nothing has changed.
Bro,
So
mute yourself, bud.
Hey, can I throw something at you, Harry?
Go ahead.
Okay, Colorado is an air raid. Pat Shermer playbook is more of a structured for air raid offense. Okay, that's one of the reasons why Juju Lewis decided he was going to come to Colorado because of the air raid playbook that they run, they are they are a very very pass heavy team. The balance isn't there though. That we know, most football people, even them, know that that's what it takes to win a national championship. If you're one dimensional, you're not going to win no championship like that. You have to have balance. But I don't think I don't think Coach Prime I feel like he understands it, but he's ignoring it. If that sounds logical.
DC Carson Music. Welcome to the show, DC. How you doing today, brother? Appreciate you calling in.
Doing fantastic. Panel, Harry B. Hope all is well.
How you doing, DC?
It could be well. Okay, I just want a few more minutes since you're new. Maybe you can add some thoughts to help me out because right now I'm still unsettled. I'm a little bit perturbed. I'm bothered because we have a head coach that is a world-renowned, figure, and you can't get at him. He's a gold jacket. He understands football more so than anybody else on that team or in college football, but yet he doesn't understand the basic concept of balanced football. I can't put the two together and I don't have no more hair, so I pulled all my hair out because I'm trying to understand it. I want to know why is Prime not interested in running the ball? Because we can't say it's Shermer. We said the same thing about Sean Lewis. So when the common denominator is that one person, then it got to be that person, right?
I feel like jumping off, changing my profile to a picture of Yoda and jumping back on, because here go the thing that you're saying it is exactly what it is. It's just that folks are trying to. You're hearing the quacking and the flying and the swimming like a duck, but folks want to tell you it's a bear. No, you have to look at what it is. If the data is telling you the CU does not want to run the ball. Now, why he doesn't want, I'm not saying it's daddy ball or anything like that, but if you can pass, you should be able to run. They don't want to run the ball that much. So it is what it is. I mean, like, honestly, why would we think anything else?
Because when it's embarrassing to see 40 minutes versus 19 minutes. It's embarrassing because you look at it like we've been winning games and we were still throwing. You feel me? It's not just about Kansas. We were winning games and we were still throwing the ball. Colorado's not interested in running the ball. Those games that we were up a couple of touchdowns, it should have been games to test our running ability. In those other games, I think we've said it here. Like, hey, we're winning. Hello. Let's run. Give our running back some reps. Let's get their legs under them so that down the stretch, down when the schedule gets a little bit tougher and you feel like, oh my gosh, we're behind. We can't run. We already tested our run. We already know what we're capable of.
There were multiple games that we were in the fourth quarter. They were still passing the ball, and we should have been running to run the clock down.
So can I just say this? It's not hate. It's just an observation. Like a lot of times if I say, all right, I've been kind of joking around with Jackson Dart having better numbers, but I'm joking around. But also understanding is that there were several games where dude was sitting on a bench late third, fourth quarter. I think that what happens with Colorado, I think they have the ability to do it. It's just the choice is to run the ball. And if y'all think about it, running the ball isn't necessarily an exciting game. Is it or is it not? Like when you watch a team just turn around, like if you've ever if you ever sat there and watched an Army game of the past, or no, now the service academies are passing, but in the past, a Navy game, Air Force Academy game, which they actually passed a little more to others, and Army games was boring as all get out. Because all it was just turn around, or some of them still ran a wishbone or option and stuff. That's a boring game. So,
but
I think
there's some creative to it,
right? But I think that the passing style fits more of Prime style. It's flash, it's good, and I'm not condemning that. Please understand that. It's just there are pros to that. I mean, think about it. We've seen
When do we
that
start
less.
condemning it?
Okay, well, here's the thing about it is that you have to decide if you want to condemn your coach or not. I'm not going to condemn him for it because it works. It's just you got to sit back and look at this. The top 12 teams, or top 10 teams other than Boise, who runs a whole bunch. Well, no, I have to add that in there. The running game is a great equalizer to teams with great quarterbacks. It is what it is. If you can't run the ball, and let's say if I can keep you on, because I said that before the season. If I can, the best way to beat Colorado is to keep Shador on the bench. And every time that they've won, they kept Shador on the bench, and Kansas defense was just good enough to stop drives. That's what cost them the game. Now, when it works, when you go up against an inferior defense, it's great. You can pass all over them. Shador is accurate. It's all get out. I also think, let's just keep it real, they lost one of their weapons, Jimmy Horn. So we got to keep that in mind as well. But overall, I'm not going to condemn him from running, but we got to just go ahead at this point, and because he ran in Jackson State. So this doesn't make any sense to me. Why we're just passing out? Well, it does make sense, but I'm not going to say it today. At the end of the day,
DC say it.
no, I'm
say
not
Hey,
going to say it.
Look,
hey,
say. I
DC,
need you to say it.
DC.
Let Tim get in here real quick. Go
Let me
ahead,
ask you
Tim.
this, DC. And I agree, brother, with everything that she's saying, and it makes sense because when if there's certain teams that's going to be in this 12 team bracket for the playoffs, right? And Boise, we can both agree that Boise State is a what heavy running team, right?
Correct.
Okay, now when they go up against a good defense, they will make them one dimensional. And they won't last long in the playoffs just because they're one dimensional. The same thing as CU. They're one dimensional, and you will not ever win a national championship being one dimensional.
So now watch this. When people sit back and say that with Oregon and Boise State, folks will say, well, Oregon was soft. But now we have to look back and say, no, it wasn't that Oregon was soft. It was that Boise had the time of possession and kept Dylan Gabriel sitting on the doggone bench. That's how you beat a team that's got a phenomenal quarterback. If you sit back and watch like the Georgias or the stuff like Vandy, look at their time of possession was 35 minutes. They kept Milroe on the bench. Now, I think within a quarter or and a couple of minutes, he scored 35 points, but there wasn't enough time in the game to do it. And you can sit back and see a lot of these games like that, where when teams have not saying that Milroe is a world beater as a QB, but if you look at it, if you keep your QB on the bench, you can win. Even the end of the Florida Ole Miss game, they became one-dimensional, and Jackson Dart looked like he was still playing in junior high because Florida was already back there. So that's why I would say for CU, just kind of wrapping it up. And no, CU fan, we'll have that conversation after the season, I promise you. But right now, because they're still in contention, and we have to look at that. But I would say CU does not want to run the ball. So can we put that to bed? Why do we put a comma behind it? It's a period. Colorado does not really want to run the ball. They want to be 70-30, at best 60-40 pass to run ratio.
It's not even it's not even that. It's not 10%. They're not even running the ball for a play to even register on any type of percentage.
Well, let me ask you this
plays
then.
Last week, 8 plays for the run, and then the previous week, 10 plays.
So let me ask you this then. If they don't want to run the ball, and this is just us peeking through the veil of time into the future, we got our DeLorean, we're just driving in for a second, and we're going to drive back to 2024. We got Juju, who's a passer. What running back is coming to Colorado? What running back is staying in Colorado if this has been your pattern? So unless they fix that, we have to understand more than likely you'll see more of the same. You'll just have a new QB doing the same because the Colorado don't want to run the ball.
But then we're never going to be able to contend for a national title, let alone possibly the championship, the Big 12, because of the fact because there's teams out there that know this. They know how to win championship games. And it seems that we don't know how to win championship games because
Yep.
when we need to win the game that we need to win, we don't.
Okay.
Well,
Let's
Well, your problem, CU fans, is you trying to make sense. Stop it. Just stop trying to
I'm
make sense of
I'm
it.
trying to. I mean, there's a lot of people in the chat already don't like what I'm saying, but I'm just trying to tell you the truth.
Well,
but
change your
giving away
name to CU hater. Change it from CU fan to hater, and join my side, brother.
no
I got
man. No,
room.
like all jokes aside, man. Listen. We come to a point where we're grasping for answers. We're trying to understand as a fan base, hey man, what gives? Like what's going on? All right. I mean, you can't run the ball 8 times. You can't run the ball 10 times. We know that. Like, we know Shador can throw. Shador can sling that thing. We get it. We get it. But man, something has to give. Especially if you want to lure in running backs. You can't and are we making the argument that we don't have good running backs, or are we making the argument again that our O-line sucks? What is the argument that we're making? And again, I don't want to beat this up for too long because I want to get some other segments in. I know a lot
Harry,
of y'all already know the tiebreakers. So who was that?
no, this is Phil. I was just gonna say this real quick. It feels like people are trying to justify other teams having success that aren't balanced. You can say, oh, well, this team is pass heavy, this team passed the ball, that team passed the ball. Okay, but they're being successful doing it. I think the issue is that Colorado, when they don't have success, it goes back to them not running the ball, um, not even effective, but just like abandoning the run. So I think the greater conversation is, why is Colorado not even trying to run the ball when they're losing and when they're being down? It's not about the fact that you have to run the ball to be successful. It's the fact that why aren't they adjusting to try to run the ball to be successful? So I
Well,
just wanted
John,
to make sure I
Isn't
put
it
that
on
out
the
there.
Kansas City Chiefs? That's the NFL team.
watch this though. Watch this though, because John Shaft is saying it. Tell me about that tight end for Kansas City Chiefs. Anybody?
He's a beast.
Exactly.
He can
John Shaft
block
is saying it.
and catch.
Exactly. That works to be a pass heavy team. Think about it. Brock Bowers, tight end, right?
Oh, before I
Yes.
forget this, hold on.
See,
Before I
that's what I'm
forget,
saying.
yeah,
Go
hold
ahead.
on. Before I forget this thought, I just want to put in this disclaimer. Whenever the panel or the show or we say we're not doing X, Y, and Z, people think it's because Colorado. They think that we're just hating on Colorado. So, and then when Colorado wins a game, then we all come back and we try to band-aid or mask. Oh, they won. So now we should be quiet. Let me disclaim this. Even if Colorado wins, it doesn't matter. All right. You can band-aid your way through a season, but you're gonna get exposed eventually. Because you realize that we have most of these conversations, we start plucking at the holes. Even us fans, certain things that we're feeling and we're seeing, we don't even say it when we're winning. Because winning masks a lot of things. Okay? So nobody come back, find this video, and I'm gonna timestamp it right now. I'm on the East Coast, New York time, 12:03 right now, and say, you see, you don't know what you're talking about because Colorado won. This has nothing to do with them winning. This is about the future, and it's about the nature and the health of the team. Without a decent run scheme and game, you are not going to go far in college football. 40 minutes versus 19 minutes, it's atrocious. For those who don't understand, I wanted to make sure I put that timestamp right now so that you understand. Hopefully you get to this part. Go
But
ahead.
Harry, let me
Hey,
finish cooking
Harry,
with this. Let me
could I,
finish. Well, Tim, I just want to ask you one question.
go ahead.
Let's finish that dialogue you and I were having.
Okay.
Gronk, what position did Gronk play?
Grunt played tight end. He was a beast at Tampa Bay.
See, do you see the pattern it's that it works. While you see even Carson Beck struggling because he don't have that check down. And check this, watch this. How was Kansas able to move those balls on passing pretty effectively. Who did they throw to?
Kansas City Chiefs.
No, I'm talking about Kansas University. Even
Oh,
that they
they'll hit they tight end
exactly.
in a minute.
That's the point that people were saying. The passing only works if you've got a heavy pass. Only works if you've got that tight end that can block and that's that can catch the ball, because you always have the running back as well as a tight end for a check down. So I mean, you got to think about that. But they never went out and got the tight end they got. Wasn't that person a DL lineman? Wasn't that a DL wherever playing on defense?
He was an end, defensive end.
Okay.
Yeah.
But why do we always try to find a reason? How are we always finding? We're trying to point the finger at this one thing that's the reason why. You think it's the tight end now? You think you not having a tight end? That's the reason why we're not running the ball well. When we only run 8 times,
it helps. It helps.
No, but if you're only running 8 times, how can you don't have enough sample data to be able to make that determination? There's no way you can. That's not a good sample. Anybody that does research understand if you went to grad school or you just did basic research, you need a bigger sample size.
No, the reason why I was saying, because Shantae was saying, well, the Kansas City Chiefs are pass heavy. But the reason why it's able to work, why I worked with the Patriots, why I worked for Tampa when Brady was there, why it worked for Georgia, it's because
for the Cowboys.
Exactly, because you had the tight end. If you don't have it, now you have a gap. Not to mention on that line, it's about matchup. You got if you don't have an effective tight end, so then they're not going to really respect that tight end as a passer. I mean, in the pass game. And you need that person.
You got to help you got to be interested in them. And you got to be able to help them to put the work in to help them to get to that point. And you got to be able to run the ball. You got to be interested in running the ball in order for you to develop that side of the ball. You can't just come out here every week and say, oh, we ain't got this. We ain't got that. That's why we're not running. Do y'all know something we don't know and y'all not saying it? Y'all don't want to throw nobody under the bus? Is that what it is?
Yeah, they're not going to throw nobody under the bus. And I want to piggyback off of what you was just talking about earlier about the haters. I want people to hate me. I want the haters to hate on me.
Oh, you ready to crash out?
Because, I want them to hate on me for the simple fact of it is, I know what it takes to be a national championship team. Whether LSU wins or loses, I'm going to be critical of them because I want to see them. I'm not happy and I'm not content with just a bowl game. I want my team to rep in the national championship game and possibly win it.
Okay, so I think Tim's audio went.
There
you go.
Hear me?
Oh, you're back. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if they don't have a balance, if they don't have a balanced offense, a balanced defense, I'm going to be critical. And I'm going to talk about the head coach. I'm going to talk about everybody that's making mistakes because I want to see them in that national championship. So for us to talk about CU in the fashion that we talking about, we're not hating. We want to see Coach Prime in a national championship game. We're not satisfied with a bowl game. We want to see a national championship game. We want to see a black man win the national championship game when he had all this hate piled up on his back.
Well, how do you get better? You accept the criticism, the popular criticism.
Hold that question real quick. I want to answer. I want to at least get this on tape. Because Coach Prime is a very calculated guy. I'm under the impression that there's something going on in that locker room that Coach Prime cannot say and is not willing to put out there because he just understands he doesn't have the talent for it. So are we willing to say Coach Prime just does not have the talent that he needs to be able to effectively run the ball? So that's why he's just heavy going the way he's going? Because according to Wild Dog, Coach Prime was a running back wide receiver too. He knows running backs are critical. He played with Roger Craig and M.S. Smith. So Coach Prime is aware of that. And then at Jackson State, he ran the ball. So is there something that he knows in that locker room that he lacks that's causing him not to be able to just unleash the run game?
I'm gonna tell
No,
you what I think. I'll tell you
I
what I think it is. I'll
I
tell you
do.
exactly what I think it is. I think it's because at the end of the day is because the running game, and I love to hear what Wild Dog say, but the running game does put wear and tear on your line. I think that he knows, because think about it, if Colorado started running, the only thing that kept them in the game was passing. If they start running, now the games become a little bit too close for comfort, even with the pass that has happened. So your odds is you're trying to win by, hey, I'm trying to nuclear war people, and hopefully that they can't respond. I think that's one of them, but I don't think that's the only one.
okay,
So do
DC,
you
but
feel
you
like
to
they?
understand that. Let me just get this one in. I'll let you in, Tim. But you do understand that when you don't, if that's the case, if you do not have the right personnel or players for a certain type of offense, you design the offense to make it better. If you know that we can't run, you design it differently in a scheme in which we've talked about so much.
But there's an issue with that, because you only have a short amount of time with with kids coming in at different times for everybody to learn the playbook. So there's so much that you can do when you're talking about play design and installation, that you need time for the offense to lock in, the quarterback to lock in. So how do you actually circumvent that and still be
Harry,
effective in the play calling or in the play design?
do you remember when they started pulling the tackles? Like we were like, "Oh my God, they're pulling the tackles," and they're actually gaining yards. And it was simple, just pulls for good for counters, and it was something that was working. But we stopped pulling the tackles or the guards, and we didn't do it. All we did was straight man to man, because how when we were getting beat on the defensive side when they were doing stunts, we were just like, why? How come we can't block? Because they're doing is the man in front of you, just block the man in front of you type situations.
Hmm. So you're saying that there's nothing that Coach Prime needs and lacks to make him feel comfortable to run. You thinking that they just lack creativity in scheme? We can just liken it to that and move on. That's enough for y'all. I feel like because Coach Prime knows football, that guy is very smart. So whenever I start crashing out in one lane. The other side of my brain starts saying, hold up, Harry B. Remember, Coach Prime knows football. Remember, he understands this game. But because of the type of character that he is, he's going to always hold certain things to his heart until he can unleash other things. I
I
think if
feel like he
okay,
does.
hold on, Tim. I just got something. I feel like if Coach Prime had a Shador running back in a Shador-ish type running situation, I think he would run more than he passes. What do y'all think?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
The Shador that played the QB position, he's still going to air it out, and the Shador that's playing the running back is going to be probably looking to jump in that transfer portal by the end of the season because he's
No,
going to
no.
be
Let's just say
upset.
the Shador is the
But
Shador because
but
that's his son. If his son was was a Saquon Barkley, if his son was a Ashton Genty, is what I'm saying. If his son was the guy that just beat us, Devin Neal,
mhm.
I feel like
Hey,
he would run the ball more than he would pass. What do you think?
Hey,
No,
Harry, can I chime in here?
Yeah, you can chime in. You've been
Yeah,
MIA. Of course you can chime in.
yeah. I mean, I'm working, and I know that this panel comes first before my job. So,
Of
hey, listen, Coach Prime, he knows how to be great at football. He does.
right.
He may not know how to scheme a run offense. He relies on the offensive coordinator. Sure, the one thing that he does know is that his son, or I'm not going to say his son, one thing that he knows that he has a great quarterback
Hmm.
and a great receiver. I think instead of being bullheaded at times and selfish at times, that they should have schemed more plays for the number one receiver that they have, and that is Travis Hunter. They should have used him more. With all that we're talking about, I think the one thing that I can blame Coach Prime on is being too selfish and too stubborn at the same time.
Hey, Ron, let me ask you this.
Yes,
I'm listening at your statement. Like, Coach Prime has all the resources at his fingertips
yes, he does.
to learn schemes, to ask all the greats different what they did, what did they do? You know, he has all those at his fingertips. So I don't want to make an excuse because I want to see you at a national championship.
Right.
So I'm not going to make that an excuse, but I agree with you on Travis. Travis could have went for three. I feel like Travis could have went for 300 yards in
Yes.
that Kansas game if they would have got him the ball because that kid was locked in. He was already pissed off for what Kobe said. He had a buck 20 something in receiving. He would have went for 300 yards if they would have just got him the ball more.
Yes, they should have done that. But they want to spread it around. And listen, the idea is to win. The idea is to win. What's working this game? Let's get it to the man that is always open, no matter what the situation is. He's always open. And if he can't get to the ball, no one can. I mean, that's spilled milk. I'm trying to put some thoughts together because I'm sending a message to Boulder. And Harry, believe it. Believe you me, I'm sending a message down there.
So, hey, Ron,
I'm not joking. I'm not kidding. I'm not blowing smoke.
I know you're not joking. I'm going to say this because I know Prime so well. I'm going to say this. I'm going to reserve my thoughts on this running thing. I give up. I think Prime knows what he got and he knows what he doesn't have. Now, I know if he's choosing not to run the ball, it has to be for a good reason.
No, Harry, you can't just look away from this. That's you can't
It's
just
only
say
one more game. Come on, CU fan. What are we gonna do? Cry the rest of the season? Like we got one
but
more
you gotta
game.
hold
That's a
people
great point, though,
accountable.
Harry.
You can't.
It is the end of the season. Like at this point, what does it even matter?
Yeah, I mean, we got one game left, and I mean, but okay, but I'll tell you one thing: we can put a pin in this, and we're gonna see a lot more running with Juju than all of our thoughts. And is it Shador? Is it we didn't have a line? I feel like if a better line comes in and we start running, I don't know what way I'm gonna go with it. I'm just gonna have to just say, okay, I respect it. We're running now. Praise God.
Well, I want to see Dion without his kids. Because
me too. I'm so ready for it. Oh my gosh, I'm so sick.
Yeah, I'm kind of done with the whole
loud
thing.
And loud and proud. I'm so sick of Deion Sanders and his kids. I'm telling you, as a fan, I can't wait for Shador and Shiloh and Travis to just leave the Buffs. I just want Prime as a football coach to be coaching the Buffaloes. I want to see what that looks like.
You weren't saying that last week.
Yes, I was. I've been saying this. I've been saying this. I've been saying this since the first time I got on this air. I want to see what Colorado looks like with just Prime and some neutral people. I want to see him coach, not just lean on his superstar son.
Listen, it's let me tell you this, Harry. It's going to be a lot different when you don't have Travis Hunter.
No, it's going to be a lot different if you don't have Shador.
Okay.
You can find Travis's. You can find good defenders, and you can find good wide receivers. You got them right there on the team.
Travis Hunter is a special wide receiver, though.
He ain't that special. He ain't that special.
He is.
I don't agree. I don't agree. Shepard, Will Shepard can catch the ball. Jimmy Horn can catch the ball. We learned that this freshman, Miller, can catch the ball. We got a lot of dudes that can catch the ball. And we learned that we got dudes that can lock down the corners. We got dudes. Travis is just doing both. So that's special.
Harry, yeah. How many passes have you seen Travis drop this year?
How many
There have been some.
is that where we're going with it?
No, I just want to know. I'm saying he's a special player.
Yeah, but you can't just say it's about drop pass and not drop passes, right? We can't just limit it to that, because
Well,
there are going to be players just like quarterbacks that make that special play that may not be as great in a couple of quarters, but then they make that one play and that changes the whole game.
But that's what the point that Ron is making is that, yeah, as far as numbers, T-Max is better, but because of Hunter, he's reliable. Like, do we think Restrepo at Miami is the best receiver out there? No, of course we don't. But when he's Mr. Reliable, Mr. Brock Bowers wasn't the best tight end, but there's something as a Mr. Reliable that can get you a play when you need it. And then there's a difference between somebody being able to do the position and because think about this. Check this out. In college, Prime had the same number of interceptions as Lee Corso. That's crazy. However, Prime was a playmaker. That's the difference. Playmakers on the field. If you notice, a lot of teams, like for example, the reason why Arizona State is doing well, because Scatterboo is a playmaker. Colorado has playmakers. What's going to be the difference next year is you'll have talent, but playmakers, man, that's the difference in championship. Look at all them teams. They all got playmakers on them. Just saying.
I'm not saying Travis is not a special player. He is. But when it comes to if you were to analyze Travis from both sides of the ball, okay, I'm just saying with Travis, we got wide receivers. The wide receiver, we have wide receivers. Because Travis, he's been hurt before, and we've seen people step up. With Travis, the cornerback, we got cornerbacks now. So it's like, okay, but you got one guy that can do them both, and he's reliable. I get it, but I feel like Shador, if you really look at it, Shador is the person, the glue to this whole thing. Shador is that guy. Travis, I love Travis, but Shador is that guy. That's just how I look at it. I don't think it's Travis, even though I like Travis more than I like Shador, but I think the key to it is Shador.
We've seen what the team looks like
Hey,
when
Harry.
Shador doesn't start. We've seen what the team looks like when Travis doesn't start. I think the team is a lot more manageable, is a lot more serviceable when Travis is not on the field, because I think Shador is that special level quarterback. So Harry, I have to agree with you on that.
Who was going to talk? Who was that?
I would like
That's
hey, this is Ron, Harry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Your question. I like everyone to give one. What is the issue? And let everyone. What's the problem? And let everyone state their case, because I'm trying to formulate a thought here to share with you.
You saying what's the issue?
Yeah, what's the issue? You saw the game. What's the problem? You said running the ball. We need to run the ball. Who do we blame for running the ball? Does Coach Prime get the blame? Well, because he's the head coach, of course he gets the blame. I mean, the buck stops with him.
Yeah, we beat that one to death. So I'm just
right.
Gonna leave it.
But I'm
putting out the bed.
I still think that no matter who you're playing, if you're creative with your offense, you can help the offensive line. You can help your run scheme. Kansas was not that great.
They were not. They were so worried.
I mean, as far as stopping the run, they were not, that great of a defense that would stop, they're not like, they don't have a defensive line like Nebraska. Not at all.
But did you see what they were able to do on the passing though? On the passing, they got almost 200 yards because of their run game.
You're 100% correct.
So that's why I put it to bed. That's why I think, okay, somebody's spraying something. I don't know who that is.
Hey, and Harry, you asked the question Saturday during the live. You asked, is this season a bust if they don't win? And I think a lot of people said no. But after this loss, just the way I feel right now, it kind of feels like a bust. It feels weird because like the energy, the anticipation.
Oh, wait, hold up, Phil. You having feelings? I thought you're not a Colorado fan. Why you feel so weird? Wow, hold up. The love sneak up on you?
I'm a backsliding heathen, but I still have a heart, Harry. I think we've established that before. Um, so
No,
no,
but
but
that
I
kind of
mean,
feeling that you have, it feels fanish.
I
Only
mean,
fans can feel this hurt that we're feeling. You're feeling hurt right now,
I'm
Phil.
I'm I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this channel. I'm a fan of anybody that is a part of
Don't
this channel.
sugarcoat it. Don't butter me up. You know you got love for us for see you. Stop playing. Don't hide it. You ain't
Man,
nobody feeling that kind of love for just TLP. No, you feel that love because you want a Dion to really win. Oh my,
I can't. I
oh,
can't.
look at
I
you.
can't.
No,
I
no, it,
can't
it
say
was
I
that
can't.
money he lost.
Yeah,
It's
that
not the
too.
money. That feeling, you can get that money back. But that hurt feeling that Phil got right now, that's love. Phil, you falling in love. Look at you. Okay.
But listen, I really was looking forward to seeing Colorado in a playoff game, and now obviously they'll be able to make a bowl game, but is Shador gonna play? Is Travis gonna play? Heck, is the team that they play against are their starters gonna actually play? So it's like it's only one more meaningful game left for Colorado because the next bowl game, if everybody on Colorado plays but nobody on the other team plays, does that win? I mean, the win is still going to mean something because it goes down as a bowl win. But as far as us being able to look at Colorado playing against tougher competition, um, we can't have that. Depending on what the bowl game looks like. So I'm a little sad about it. That's all.
Yeah, I know why you're sad. But anyway, we'll deal with that in another video. But listen, since you kind of like led us into this, let's go ahead and see. Let's let the people know what Colorado has to do to continue their season so that Phil would not be so sad. Hold on. Let me get this thing off my screen. Okay. So entering this week of the regular season, Colorado, Iowa State, Arizona State, and BYU are all tied atop of the Big 12 standings at 6-2. All right. Hey, y'all, we should feel good that Colorado is, first of all, is in the tie at the top. Okay. Colorado's number one. Okay. 5 other teams are 5-3 and mathematically still in contention for a title game berth. Below are the various first tiebreakers scenarios in the Big 12 entering week number 14. The 2-team tiebreaker. Here it goes right here. If 2 teams finish tied at 7-2, they all face each other in the conference championship. This is the most simple and obvious potential outcome of the week number 14. Below are the 3-team tiebreakers, which are somewhat more complicated. Okay. Colorado loses. Oh, don't say that, Jack Carlo. If Colorado is the only current first place team to lose in week number 14, Arizona State, Iowa State, and BYU will finish tied for the first place at 7-2. In this scenario, Arizona State will face Iowa State in the championship game. BYU loses the tiebreaker. Arizona State loses. That sounds a little better than Colorado loses. Okay. An Arizona State loss to Arizona combined with wins by Colorado, Iowa State, and BYU will provoke another 3-team tiebreaker. Here, Iowa State and BYU prevail. Colorado loses the tiebreaker. If I'm going too fast for some, let me know. Iowa State loses this scenario. But first, before I go on, let me ask you the panel real quick, guys. Keep it short. Out of that first 2, which one do you think is the most likely to happen? Anybody can take this. If you're not asleep, if you're still here with me, anybody. I got CU fan. I got Phil Surreal. I got anybody can take this.
That's a tough one, man, because I don't think Arizona's going to lose, and I don't think Colorado's going to lose.
You mean Arizona State? Because Arizona's playing Arizona State, the desert, the Heat Bowl.
Yeah, Arizona State. Yeah.
So you think Arizona has fall off so far that Fafita and T Mac don't have no more air in the tank to do it, to pull off the upset?
The way Arizona State's been playing, I don't think so.
Anybody else? Does anybody else see any glimmer of hope in any of these teams? What are the most likelihood happening? No, nobody. All right, let's move on. Okay, Iowa State loses. If Iowa State loses to Kansas State, This is the one that I felt like Kansas State, I think they still got a lot left with their running back. I think this is the most likely to happen. The 3-team tiebreaker between Arizona State, Colorado, and BYU isn't friendly toward the Buffs. ASU will face BYU in the conference title game. Colorado loses the tiebreaker. But I think that K-State beats Iowa State. So it looks like K-State beats Iowa State, and then we got to hope that BYU loses. If that's this is the most scenario happening. If BYU wins, then they're in. Colorado's out. BYU loses. This is the lone three-time tiebreaker scenario that favors Colorado, sort of. Here's how the Big 12 conference breaks down a BYU loss. Three-team tiebreaker between Colorado, ASU, and Iowa State. If Texas Tech defeats West Virginia, then if BYU beats Kansas and Cincinnati beats TCU, Colorado versus Iowa State. Otherwise, Colorado versus Arizona State. If West Virginia defeats Texas Tech, Arizona State versus Iowa State. So Colorado's chances, 2 of the top guys loses. Tim Smith disappeared. He's back. Okay. So the top, let me put this up real quick. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna make this make sense for everybody. 2 of those 4 teams, once they lose, if 2 of those top teams lose, then it's pretty much that's it. Colorado's in. And I want to ask y'all again, when I show y'all this schedule, these little lineups, who do y'all think is the most likely to take that L?
I think the BYU lost to Houston.
That's not happening.
No, I think. Hey,
Sorry to
did you
burst
see
that bubble.
Houston? Did you see Houston this past week?
No, did they win this past week?
No, they didn't. But their defense is strong.
Yeah,
I mean,
BYU, I don't see them beating BYU. Houston beating BYU. It's possible, but
I feel like the clearest path for them to make it to the championship is BYU losing and Texas Tech winning against West Virginia this weekend.
yeah, but it's not just BYU loses, Texas Tech win though. That scenario that we just read there's another little hitch in there. It's not just BYU loses and then Texas Tech wins, because if you look at this, there's no incentive.
You got to have 2 out of the 3.
Yeah, you got to have Iowa lose.
These 3, two got to lose. So it's not just BYU loses, Texas Tech win, because there's no incentive. Texas Tech is all the way down here, 5-3.
Right. I'll say BYU and Iowa State loses to no, not Iowa State. Iowa State loses to Kansas State.
I'm thinking Iowa State's going to lose to Kansas State. That's what I'm thinking, because I feel like Kansas State has a good team. I think they're still strong and they're still playing for something. I don't think they're going to try to spike CU. Like, oh no, I don't know that's going to happen. BYU, I don't know. The battle of the desert, man. If they had Jet Fitch, then maybe, I don't know, but I don't know if Arizona has anything left in the tank.
I just will say this to you: is that all right? So, do I think that Houston could beat BYU? I think that's the less likely loss, but I do think K-State can beat Iowa State, and of course Arizona can beat Arizona State. That being a rivalry game. Here's the issue.
Wait, you think the Arizona team this year can beat Arizona State as hot as they are?
Because it's a rival game. Let me tell you something. Last year, Bama looked great, and we needed a 4th and 35 against a 4-win or 5-win Auburn team to beat them. So it happens. If you look at these rival games, you throw stuff out the door. I think that Colorado, and by the way, Harry, that was me, was steaming my phone, was trying to cleanse it from Shantae's comments. So I still got work to do. But I would say that that's what I like. But the problem I have on that one is that would be great for Colorado to get in. But with Tulane still out there and a couple of stuff, man, the Big 12. See, that's the thing about it. Colorado could win, and that win be great for the fans, but totally push the Big 12 out. You
So
got to take a look at that.
what if all three of these teams? If all three of these teams loses and Colorado wins, now we got to play one of these teams down here. Oh my God! There's nobody left with just one loss. So if all three of these teams loses, then we're in. We're absolutely in. If all these top three teams above us lose, we win, we're in. Then we just got to figure out who's going to play us. That's it. I'm not trying to read that other 4-team tiebreaker, all that blah blah blah. Listen, I just want Colorado to get in. But it's Colorado. Now let's just finish this off with a little bit of soft, what I call soft scouting. OSU. OSU is not a slouch team. OSU still has a good quarterback and a good running back, Ollie Gordon. What's their quarterback name? I forget this name. Daggone it. Anybody remember OSU's quarterback? What is his name, man? Anyway, they've been they've been in a sleeper cell, all right, like Osama bin Laden. They've been in a sleeper cell this season, just like Kansas. So is this going to be, do anybody on this panel believe that this could be their Super Bowl, just like Kansas was for Colorado?
Yes. And you know why? Because of the fact that we talked about it already, is if we don't push the ball on the ground. They already seen what we how to beat us. I mean, control the clock is basically how they beat us. So
they are 0-8.
I understand they're 0-8.
This will be a shame if we lose to this 0-8 team. This is not going to end well.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm telling you, this is the last game of the season. They already have the formula to how to beat Colorado, so they're going to use the formula.
So Alan Bowman is the quarterback's name that I've been trying to remember. Like I said, I did a video on this team, so go check it out on the channel. So they got Alan Bowman, who is still capable. He's a wounded dog, but you know what happens to wounded dogs when they're back, when their back's against the wall. And then Ollie Gordon a second. Like, these guys are going to be NFL players. Is Ron Tate still here? Or Phil So Real? Phil.
Ron Tate's still here.
Okay, Ron. Should we say, oh, this is going to be easy because they're 0-8?
Or no. And like Shajor said in the beginning, we're everyone's Super Bowl. So you're going to be hyped up. And Kansas has given you the roadmap to defeating CU. And so there's an opportunity for us to end the season with a splash.
So Ron, you think it was Kansas that gave them the roadmap? This has been blazing. It's been glaring all season. It's been listen, right there in front of any scout that would look at the data.
I know, but I'm talking to my players now in all week.
Oh, go ahead. You're speaking to them through TRP. Go ahead.
Sure, we're going to view other contests that CU was a part of, but the most recent is the Kansas situation. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to hammer that into that running back's head. Keep your feet moving. Keep pushing. Be physical. Everybody's going to be physical. I think they manhandled CU. Questionable calls with the referees and all of that. I got it. No run game. But, man, where's your guts? Where's your heart? Man, they were pushing Shador's head down. I mean, that ugly hit. Why didn't one of those linemen run over there? And, I know what I would have done.
You can't do it because you get kicked out of the game if you do that.
Yeah, I'll be out of the game. I will be out of the game. I will be out of the game if a guy did that.
Then you hurt us more than you help us.
I would be out of the game if the guy did that to my quarterback. I would be out of the game. Next man up. I'm setting the rest of this game out.
You're only going to have Shiloh left.
What do you mean? No, this is on the offensive line. This is an offensive lineman. They
I'm
rotate
just
him.
saying,
As
because
long as it wasn't Seaton. or
somebody
Cass
could have
Keeneland.
came off the sideline and crashed out.
No, they get suspended next year, a couple games or something. I don't know. They would pull something out of the hat on them. But I
But no,
would
but
have
Ron, that's a great
retaliated.
question though. Why do you think the offensive line didn't go out there and support him?
They
Culture.
did. No, they did.
No.
Pause. They did. They did.
Culture. A winning culture would not allow that to have happened. Would not.
No.
have allowed-
It's not allowing. You cannot help something happening. You're talking about the after. They didn't know allowing. Anybody can rush up to Mike Tyson and punch him, but do you want to do that?
Well, Harry, what I'm talking about is the entire game. I know we're talking about a specific play, but look at the entire game. I mean, guys were being held. I mean, and they're not, doing something to let the referee know this guy is holding me, but by doing something physical to get him off. I mean, the whole game, they were being roughed up. The offensive line was being roughed up. The defensive line was being roughed up.
Do you think the team has given up on him?
What team? You think Shador's line is giving up on him?
I'm asking.
No, because look, when that play happened, you saw Jordan Seaton, you saw a couple of guys rush to this dude and push him, and the ref a couple of times had to separate these guys. So no, they're still protecting Shador. They're doing what they can do. You're not going to predict somebody doing something stupid, but when they do it, no, they still got his back. You can tell. I can co-sign. That I know is definitely happening because I see it. You see it in the game. There was a lot of, hey man, why you pushing my guy? Da 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 da. There was that. But we got bigger fish to fry. That's not the fish I want to fry. Listen. Are we sleeping on? We sending messages. Ron just sent his message. Phil, what is your message to this team? Since you're falling in love and you're in the honeymoon stage right now.
I mean, what it boils down to is everybody knows how to beat Colorado, but everybody can't beat Colorado.
Okay. Look at Phil. Come on, Phil. Let's go, Phil.
I mean, listen,
philosopher. Let's go. I'm gonna start calling you philosopher. Let's go.
I mean, I try to speak in true statements, and I think that's a true statement. There are a lot of
intelligent black man. Let's go.
I mean, everybody knows how to beat Colorado, but only so many people can actually execute it and do it. Oklahoma State, I don't think is one of those teams that can do it. Yes, Ollie Gordon is a really good running back, but we've seen that they're just not a really good team this year. But we also know that based off of this season, you can't sleep on your competition just because they're not playing good this year because you can't get beat. But if I'm Colorado, if I'm playing, listen, Travis Hunter, this is your last time playing in Folsom Field. Colorado, University of Colorado's been good to you. They supported you. To those guys that are seniors, man, go out there and play hard for University of Colorado because they've tried to have your back 100% since the time you got to Colorado. So just go out, play hard, man. This your last game of the season. Don't worry about what the haters got to say or the lovers got to say. Go out there and play for yourself and play for the school. That's pretty much all I got to say.
All of you guys with your 10 and 2s, your 12 and 0s were knocked out early. Your 10 and 2s are defeated. My 8 and 4 still hanging. I don't want to get the 8 and 4.
Yeah, I don't want an 8 and 4. I want a 9 and 3, just like you.
Yeah, I would rather a 9 and 3. Then we can make a stronger argument in the postseason. We can hang our chest up and be and talk with a little bit of bravado in the postseason with a 9 and 3. An 8 and 4, we can do the same, but it ain't gonna feel the same. It ain't gonna feel the same. I want that sting on it. So, all right, let me get DC. Do you have a word? Because I know that you're the you're the resident butter. Do you have a word for these players? I'm sure you do. Are you there, DC?
Hey Harry, this is Ron Tate. I'm back on. So you know what
Okay.
DC has a drone following me around. He saw me get back on the show, and then he deleted himself or muted himself. But that's okay. We only got one
Hey.
more game to go, DC.
Hey, Love and Liberty, why are there 4,000 tickets unclaimed by students? Don't they have some type of student ticket scouting, scalping thingy? Scalping?
They're going home for the holidays. That's why they're not going to be at the game. It's not because CU sucks now.
Who wants to see them play OSU? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. So what I was going to say is finish the game, finish the season, be strong. I mean, it doesn't matter. It might not have gone exactly the way some people may have wanted, but always finish that thing out. And then come in and play a bowl. That's it. That's part of football. You're going to lose some. But you can't go into Oklahoma State thinking this is a gimme game. Don't sleepwalk through it. Only thing I would sit back and say is hopefully next year, we got to be careful with that. We everybody's Super Bowl, because isn't it the irony is that you played in a stadium of Super Bowl championships and you knew those teams were coming at you and you didn't show up. So that only talk works when you can back that up. Other than that, you kind of have to keep that in your pocket. But you can end the season well by coming out and saying, we don't care whether you think it's your Super Bowl or not. Well, Colorado, we're going to play elite championship football. We're going to play it, and we're going to play it, watch this, in such a way that when we make the playoffs, if we make the playoffs, but I'm going to say when you make the playoffs, the championship game, that you have gotten your momentum back, and you're going to dominate the Big 12 so that you can go into playoffs and play lights out. That's your mindset now. You can't do nothing about yesterday. Let's do something about right now.
Oh, my gosh.
Phil,
Hey, Harry.
Yeah.
Harry, let me just say this. I agree with DC. That's it.
Okay.
I agree with DC.
I was waiting for something more dynamic. But anyway, Phil or DC, I'll give you 40 seconds to give the Texas Truth everything that he's been asking for, because he's been coming at y'all for a minute since he came for y'all in the comments. Y'all didn't see that. And he came for y'all on one of the polls that I put up in the community. He came for y'all, and then he's coming for y'all now, but y'all don't see it. He's been coming for y'all, so I give you 40 seconds, and I got your team's record up. All right, I give y'all 40 seconds, whoever wants it, to address the Texas Truth. He's waiting for y'all, and he's been wanting that smoke all week. Go.
I'm not going to, I only need a second, and I'm just going to say a number, 13.
Okay. Yeah, that's not fair. Don't do that.
No, it's not the championships. Not the championships. That's even more than that.
Oh,
right.
man.
Yeah, 13. 13. After that sucky game we played, 13. So I'm going to just defer and say I'm going to cheer for Colorado to get in, but you don't want this smoke today, bro.
Alabama has lost 3. There is no way on this green football earth that a 3-loss team is ranked as high as 13.
Don't say that. Don't let that come out of your mouth, Harry. Do not let that come
Alabama
out of your
is
mouth.
not going.
Bruh, a 3-loss team in the SEC still ranked that high? When that happened?
If you don't think if something goes south that they won't try to slide Alabama through the back door, that's why I said don't say that, because they will try to figure out a way. Even if they were 5 and 7, they'll still try to find a way to put them in the
Well,
playoffs.
I'm saying it. Alabama ain't going.
Oh, okay, well, y'all can eat them words. I got some water to wash it down with.
You know why I'm saying this? It's because we saw this last year. We've seen this. Well, I've seen this a couple of times before where folks are going, that ain't fair. But as this is a faith community, because I see folks saying that this is a divine appointment and Prime is on a mission with God, I will sit back and say, for Bama, favor ain't fair, folks. Favor is not fair.
Favor,
But
hey,
let me say this.
That's called that's favor.
Well, no, I don't. But let me say this. I picked Alabama to go 9-3 this year. Spot on. I didn't expect us to be in the SEC because a new coach has a drop off. You can see that with teams like Arizona. They had a huge drop off. But Bama's still playing decent football. We just lost some games. So I'm not ashamed. Why would I be? Go ahead,
Yo,
Phil.
do we have the would it be week 13 bracket? Is that how we what it would be? Week 13 or week 14?
I will tell you this: if Tennessee, because see, think about this, Tennessee could lay a complete egg against Vandy, and Georgia can get beat by Georgia Tech, as we've seen at the beginning of the year, as Miami has seen, and you could have SMU blow something. So you can have mad chaos. You can have Boise lose. You can have all kind of stuff. That's what I'm saying is just like the same thing. Think about it. CU fans, you're asking for complete chaos to get to the Big 12, right?
Yes.
Right. So complete chaos could happen. I don't think so, but when you're at 13 sitting on the outside,
Oh, they did that for a reason. You know that.
oh, I mean, Ron, I know it. I ain't proud of it, but I know it. I don't think we deserve to get in, but I'm just telling you, if Tennessee and Georgia, who can lose these rivalry games. Hey, check this out. South Carolina is 8-3, and Clemson is 9-2. South Carolina can beat Clemson. Now we got other problems going on. So, folks, hold on to your hats. It's going to be a wild weekend.
This is not the current. This is not the current ranking, right? Oh yeah, no, this is the old one because Colorado is still number 16 on this one. Okay. So the way that it stands right now, I mean, obviously it's not fair that we got.
Hold on, well, Harry, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I have to throw something. Hey, that you got to pull the new one up. Colorado is still on the ranking sheet. It's just down there by the Made in China at the bottom of the poster.
Would it be week number 14 rankings?
Yes.
Okay, let me see if I can find week number 14 ranking. CFB. Yo, why you be trolling us and then you be coming here trying to love on us? Like, what are you? What is not a Jolly Ranger, but what's that sour patch?
Sweet, yeah, Sour Patch.
Yo, is that week 14 ranking?
Yes, it should be.
Okay, let's see if I can pull that up. This is still not it because Colorado's what 23, right?
That's on the they're only 23 on the AP poll. They're not ranked on the coaches poll.
Okay. Okay, so Colorado is I'm not this is not coming up for some odd reason. Is this supposed to be week?
You won't have it on there. You won't have it on the CFP because they don't do the rankings until Tuesday. The rankings aren't released until Tuesday.
Okay. So, but Tuesday, you mean at 7? Because this is Tuesday.
Well, there you go.
At 7 p.m.?
I think, yes.
Okay. So
hold on. I think was the Love of Liberty asking, hey, DC, how many Big 12 teams will we jump if we win the Big 12 versus how many can Alabama jump? I think that if Tennessee loses and this weekend, and then I think they'll be in the championship. Well, no, see that's the thing. Love and Liberty, it's nuts. I don't think Alabama jumps anybody unless Georgia loses to Georgia Tech and Tennessee loses to Vandy, which is possible. But I think that you could wind up having a situation where South Carolina leapfrog Bama if they beat Clemson. So it's just tricky. There's no way to tell until after we see this weekend. I don't see Alabama going up too far. If Boise State loses, I mean, think about it. If Boise State goes into the Mountain West game and then Colorado State beats them, which is amazing that Colorado State will be there. Do you think Boise is going to fall out the top 12? I think they would.
Yes,
Boy,
they
the
will
state
fall
will
out
be
the
out.
top 12.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Right. So like I was saying, I can't say it because you got this weekend is going to be mad chaos. A lot of folks is waiting on some people to lose.
I sure hope so because I want to see my Colorado Buffaloes be talked about by the the ESPNs. I love it when they're talking that stuff. I know it hurts Paul Farnbaum to have to say some words about Prime. I know it doesn't feel good for him, but I got
It's how much of that chaos will occur because the whole, even though you want to see CU in there, the whole Big 12 can be left out as a whole.
Yeah, but remember Shantae, the resident statistician said that's not possible. So I just I just want to make sure that we understand. Like,
Harry, stop doing it. We've
I'm
already gone over it. It is possible. Stop doing it.
not if Shantae says it's not. Hello, come on now. She's the evangelist of the channel. So
Shantae must be casting 5 votes.
prophetess Shantae said it ain't gonna happen, then it ain't gonna happen. Okay, but I got a question for y'all. This is just a general football question. We got is somebody opening their car door? Um, just
They
mute your
finna
mic.
run off the cliff.
Just mute your mic. All right. I got a question for y'all SEC guys. Do y'all think these numbers are looking like this because either teams are taking a break because of the 12 teams playoff because they know they don't have to work as hard? Or is this NIL transfer portal effect going on? What do you think? Why is this happening when you look on these numbers? Why is there so many losses in the Big 12 for at least the top guys?
This is NIL transfer portal at 100%.
Who want to go first, DC or Phil? If not, I will.
You had what's her name answering? The CU fan wanted to take a stab at it.
Oh, go ahead. My bad, CU fan.
No, what I'm saying is this is 100% NIL transfer portal. I mean, nobody's saying it. Nobody's wanted to say it because of the fact that it's a new thing. And I think we talked about this. We touched it a little bit. This is the new era. This is the new thing. And because of this is what's happening. So we're going to see this type of stuff all over the place, not just in the SEC, but we're going to see it in all the other divisions.
My turn?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Transfer portal don't have nothing to do with it at all. All those schools recruit high school players that been there for years. Okay, Texas can recruit. Georgia can recruit. They win national championships. Tennessee can recruit every year. Texas A&M, they got the bag. South Carolina, they just play hard. We know Bama got championships and they can recruit. Ole Miss, same thing. So they just beat up on each other week in and week out. So that's the only reason why we're seeing that. It's equally balanced.
So are you saying that these numbers are normal? Because me as a casual fan over the years, when it comes to the top 3 or at least the top 4, I usually see like 1 or 0. I see 0, 0, and then I see 1, 1. I don't usually see 1, 2. Like there's always an undefeated team in the SEC. This year, I'm seeing a bunch of 2s and 3s. What is going for? What's really going on?
Well,
has it always been this way, or this is new?
I mean, Auburn can beat you at any given time. Last year, Ole Miss was good. They were beating up on people. It just depends on who you have on your schedule at the end of the day. This year, it been kind of balanced where teams that normally wouldn't play each other. Not only that, we got two new teams in Texas and OU. Texas dominated the Big 12 for the longest. So them or OU. Now that they're in the SEC, they have the players, the size, the depth to compete with those SEC teams. So they can fit right into place. But and Texas have that skill set as well to compete in the SEC. So it's just right now a lot of them are playing each other early on in the season.
So what? So you're attributing the fact that you're attributing schedule change to the lopsided numbers we're seeing in the SEC. I just wanted to know, what are you attributing it to?
I'm contributing it to schedule change and the welcoming of two Big 12 contenders for numerous years into the SEC. With that, the recruiting that these schools have obtained kept the players that been there for 2 and 3 years prior to this year. So they're ready. So their team is a lot better than they were 2 years ago. So now they ready to compete with Georgia's and Alabama's. So you able to see more balance throughout the SEC.
Okay. And DC or Phil, any of y'all want to stick a stab at it?
I think I would contribute it to the transfer portal and just the playing field being leveled at this point. Um, and I really think that's what it boils down to. I just think the talent pool is a lot more even. It's a lot more level. Um, and you're seeing teams that are a lot older as well. So teams a lot more mature. You can implement a scheme a little bit quicker, or your playbook a little bit quicker with them as well. So I think those are probably the top two or three reasons why you're seeing this, seeing things be so even in the SEC right now.
So, what do you think about the quarterbacks right now in college football? Like overall, like are we going into a year of not having like superstar quarterbacks? Are we about to have a down year, or do y'all think things are like the next guys up are going to be good enough to make football fun to watch next year? Because I feel like we're about to go into a very weird year of college football.
We're in a weird year, but I can't. But understand what I'm about to say
But it's
does
about to
not
get
take any.
weirder. If
Right.
it's weird right now, it's about to get weirder.
It is. I will be honest with you. I didn't necessarily like the games this year. This has been a long time since I didn't, because there are a lot of things like fundamentals. I'm watching players like do stupid stuff or lose themselves, or it's too much of a I'm all for celebrating and things like that, but just whole body demeanor, that type of stuff, body language, demeanor, it's not there. And then you see people doing stuff that seniors shouldn't be taking bad angles to make tackles and stuff like that. So what I think is there's too many distractions. Understand this, folks. Very few people can get into them environments and just stay so focused and be at 100% all the time, especially on the college campus. But I will tell you this. I think the reason why that football is the way it is because you're not building teams. You're just putting a team on the field. Teams are built, little by little, because understand, you can have somebody who was a high school dog, but you still have to train dogs. You still got to get them to understand the scheme, because most of the time when in high school, they were able to out athlete each other. You're not coming into you're not coming into Big 10 or Big 12 or SEC and out athleting but most people. So that's what I say is that the fundamentals, we got to get back to it. And if you talk to any, and I'll end with this, if you talk to any little league coach, and you've seen it, Harry, the fundamentals just aren't sound. They're not getting the basis at the beginning. So by the time they get to high school, they don't have the discipline to make it to that elite level. I'm sorry. And we having more people who have the athletic ability to get on the field, but not to be like solid, crisp teams.
No, I
Hey,
can
hey,
definitely,
DC.
hold on. I can definitely speak to that, because at the end of the day, I feel like with my son being a first time football player, he went through a lot of growing pains, because when you get there, they're not teaching fundamentals, they're teaching plays. They're teaching you like, oh, okay, this is the play we're gonna do, and then almost like there were times where they were just kind of like saying, well, why you don't know? I'm like, well, because he's the first year, you got to show him what to do. He didn't know how to tackle. He didn't know. He was a little bit hesitant. So no, at the bottom level, they're not teaching jack. They're just teaching plays. Because, like I said, I don't really like the coach. his whole attitude is like they got this either Twitter page or they got their own Facebook. That's what they said or something like that, and they're jousting at other coaches. So for them, it's about them, not the young people learning. It's about them. Like, oh, if we win, then we can tell our boys, oh, we beat y'all this year. Like, anyway, go ahead, CU fan. What you was going to say something to DC?
Well, yeah, I just wanted to ask DC, because I've experienced this a little bit too with my kids, and in a different sport, I should say. But would you consider that like a participation award type situation?
See, you got to understand this. Why are you trying to pull me out of trying to be nice to you, fans? Because understand, because I can understand. Because I'm gonna tell you this. I will give you a quick example.
DC, cut it short. We gotta go. Go.
I will. So here it is. That 20 years ago, because I served for 24 years, the soldiers and Wild Dog said the soldiers now are not the soldiers back then. And the other thing I see, I had a mama call me about her soldier and say basically he ain't coming back till y'all get. He was a cook. He ain't coming back until y'all give him computers. And I was like, you gotta be.
He can Google the menu.
I'm sitting up here going, well, first of all, your son didn't have the ASVAB to do computers. I mean, but the other thing is, do you not realize, I hate to say it like this, but that's my soldier. That's your son, but that's my soldier, and I trump that. What I'm basically saying is that even in the dynamics, it is to a point where it's participation trophies and people give them stuff that they want, and they don't understand you got to put in the hard work. But we make it, hey, you get the same reward as the person who put in the work. That's killing us.
That's crazy. Final thoughts, guys. I gotta go. It's after I didn't even look up. I'm like, wait a minute. It's 106. See you, fan. What's your final thoughts, man? These Buffs, are they winning or are they losing?
I'm going to say that they're going to win, but I hope they don't show up thinking they're going to win. I hope they show up.
Spot the other team 13, 17 points.
Yeah, I want them to show up and win. Just don't show up thinking you're going to win. I want them to be, let's put that game at last week aside. Yeah, it was a big loss, but let's put it aside. Let's go in there and make the statement that we're going to win, so at least we have a chance to go to the Big 12 championship.
All right. Phil So Real, what is your final thoughts, my guy?
Plain and simple, we're here to be a blessing to somebody. So if you've been blessed, go be blessed and bless somebody else. That's pretty much it. This football thing ain't that serious.
Yeah, that's what Colorado keeps saying, and then they keep taking L's. But anyways, DC, they're eating their rat poison. DC, final thoughts, my guy.
Well, Phil sitting up singing Fred Hammond, let me hear you say bless. Anyway, what I want to say, I'm messing with you.
They get paid too much now, so they don't have to play as hard as they used to.
I think that this would be a great weekend if you like chaos. Which I sometimes do a little bit. Shantae does too. She's a little toxic, I can tell you.
I know. Shantae and the Texas Truth, they have joined forces and they are coming for y'all. I'm going to tell you. Hey, Friday's show is going to be lit because I'm going to give DC and Phil all the right to just come at y'all. Go ahead.
Hey, you realize there's Black Friday now, right? No, I'm just making sure. You realize it's Black Friday. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be doing the live during the game. It's Black Friday. It's 12 o'clock.
Yes.
Whatever that means, whatever you're trying to insinuate, I'm all for it, man.
No.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I'm definitely not gonna be doing that, but that's my point. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people be doing stuff during Black Friday, so maybe they'll have something.
Hey, all the men are gonna be bored with their phones in their hands, so this is gonna be a great show because they're gonna be sitting right next to their wife while she's shopping, and they're gonna be having their phones, and we're gonna be having a great show. So don't need to worry about it.
But the thing I would say is that it should be a great weekend. Hopefully it works out for Colorado. If it doesn't, they play well, and I'm looking forward to seeing just some really good, solid football. of course, this is my time of the year where if you're a Bama fan, you want to see what the Iron Bowl does. And so I'll have to sit here and watch the game with a college Auburn attendee that decided to disobey and discredit her father. But it's all good. So y'all enjoy these games like I'm gonna enjoy them.
But it feels kind of good to have a team that has a inside connection to where you lose a game and drop one spot. Other people lose this drop 7 or 8. Tim Smith, what is your final thought, my guy?
I'm looking for CU, man, to come out and set the tone early. Hopefully they didn't flush that loss against against Kansas, and just play hard, play CU football, and I'm looking for them to run up the scoreboard, honestly, Friday night.
Man, they did win by 2.
Well, hold on real quick, Tim. You said something that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You can never use the word "see you" and "run" in the same sentence. I digress.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's cold.
ooh, look at there. Save that for Friday. Ron Tate, are you still around?
Yes, sir. I'm right here. I'm taking it all in.
You got 30 seconds to give me your final thoughts. If you want to answer DC, please go ahead and do it for
Well,
me.
listen, the first thing I
Shantae
want to say to
Texas is
DC,
gonna-
I want to ask DC to do some research. War Eagle number 44.
Uh-oh.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
That's an inside joke. I don't know what that is.
And the next thing is CU will win. And I think we should enjoy this moment because I'm listening to the conversation and we're talking about the Big 12 championship, possibly getting into the playoffs. And we're talking about CU in that same vein. Hey, it's a great season so far.
Hey, if the bar is set low, then just let me know. I can repeat that if you want.
No. Tim and I were the only two that said 10-2. So we're gonna have to settle for 9-3 or 10-3 or 11-3. We'll have to see.
You better hope that Ollie Gordon don't wake up and Alan Bowman don't all of a sudden his arm don't work.
Man, Allie Gordon is stretching right now. He is getting loose for Friday. I'm telling you. We have to stop him.
Is it Friday or Saturday? I think it's Saturday.
It's Friday.
Right?
It's a Friday game, I thought.
We got a Friday game?
I thought it was a Friday game.
Wait,
Yes, that's
It
what
is
I'm saying. It's Black Friday, Harry.
It's a Friday game.
the
It's
game is
12
on
o'clock.
Friday? I'm tripping.
Yeah, you
It's
tripping
either 11
hard.
o'clock or 12.
Bro, I was about to miss the game.
Nah, we would have emailed you.
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah. I'll be getting your emails, Tim. Wait a minute. Where's the? And it's a Friday game at 12 p.m. Eastern time.
So does your confusion is that moving into my 30 seconds? Do I get another 5 or 10 seconds to speak, Harry?
Yes. You earned it. Go ahead.
You acting like Panda.
But I just wanted to say I was listening to the conversation, and even though I do feel bad about the loss, I think we've had as CU fans, we've had a great season thus far, and hey, go Buffs! I hope they win. I hope all 3 of the other teams lose. It happened before, so I'm hoping that it happens again.
Hey, does the Texas Truth have a cousin? Now I got a Texas two-step. What's going on? Why are all these Texas guys coming after me? He said, I don't know where Colorado's. I didn't even know it was a daggone Friday game. Look at this. All right, so then that means I got to have another show before Friday. So we might have a Thursday show. I might have to put up Thursday because we got to do the full scouting.
Harry, Thursday is Thanksgiving, dude.
Thursday is
What is
Thanksgiving. So
going on?
tomorrow then. I don't know what's going on around here, okay? We might have a show tomorrow. Daggone it. And y'all acting like y'all don't eat your plate and fall asleep and y'all want to talk some football. We can have a show on Thanksgiving. Stop playing with me. I got to go.
I'm cool with it. I'm just letting you know. I don't know how you run your house.
Well, now you're questioning my house, huh? Mr. My roommate.
Y'all brothers have a blessed one.
Y'all have a blessed day, yo. I'm late. I got to go. Y'all have a good one. Hey,
Peace.
watch. I might have to pull up tomorrow because we got to do a full scouting on this team. And we got to talk some Colorado football.
Hey, DC, I want you to research that riddle.
I'm gonna research it, brother.
Y'all take care, man. Appreciate
God
y'all.
bless. You guys have a good one.
Peace.
All right, you too.